All right, so last week I drove a Porsche Cayman GT4 RS, and from the factory, that's a car that's built for the track that you can drive on the street. And a factory car like that, of course, has to be, to a certain extent, comfortable. It's got to be livable. The car behind me has well over 400 horsepower. It's extensively modified. It's a track car. It's an EK Civic hatch, and it doesn't have to follow any of those rules, of course, because it's home built. And I'm kind of freaked out. My heart wants to get in right now, but my spine, my entire body is like, don't get in that car. It's gonna be miserable. Let's go for a drive. All right, Clark, what's going on? Do you want to introduce yourself and what you're driving?
Yeah, how's it going on, everyone on YouTube land? My name is Clark, and this is what's left of my 2000 Honda Civic hatchback. I got it from a guy in Seattle, an old Honda head, and it had a B18 C5 Integra Type R motor. And that was it. Stock suspension, stock brakes, stock seats. Over time, it's just, you know, from doing autocross and some road course, it's just kind of slowly evolved into something even more or less practical than it used to be. So.
All right, you guys, we're not gonna stall. I'm not gonna stall, not gonna stall, not gonna stall. The first thing that might make this vehicle slightly difficult to drive is the 9-pound flywheel. All right, it's not that bad. All right, I was on a downhill, that's cheating. Power windows too. This one's been converted, so it has a few interior niceties, if you want to call it that. A car that was built for the track. It's got a B18 under the hood, and it's not from an Integra Type R. It's a GSR motor, a little bit cheaper to get your hands on. And this one has been bored and sleeved to 2 liters. So we got a little bit more displacement and should be making right around 400 wheel horsepower as it sits. Okay, all right. Got the T51R mod, so it makes a ton of noise. The transmission's out of a 96 Integra Type R, so of course shorter gearing than the GSR would be. With a big power car, that just means, okay, if boost is pushed up to the top, we're gonna find out what it's like in a second, then you're gonna be constantly shifting, and you need to be right at redline to get right back into the power, of course. Torque steer is very apparent, all predictable Civic things. Oh my God. This might be the most frightening turbo Civic I've ever driven in my life. It is all over the road. All right, let's have some fun. No, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay with not going full throttle. That is totally okay with me. I mean, this thing is all over the road. It's in the best way possible. It's almost undrivable. It's so close to being undrivable. What? I don't like crossing double yellows, but it's pretty difficult not to when the entire car, the heart of the car, is yanking you into the road. This is the most insane turbo Civic I've ever driven by quite a margin. Like, I don't know how much is the car trying to kill me and how much is the imperfections of this road. This is a road I've never driven. All it takes is one glance at the wheel and tire setup to figure out why it walks like it does. The alignment isn't actually that aggressive, not much negative camber, the toe is zeroed out in the front, but these tires may as well be double as wide as the rears. Half the game with a front-wheel drive car is the delicate balance between grip and good road manners.
So it's been through a few reiterations. Currently right now, it has a sleeved 2-liter GSR from a guy named Dan Benson, who's kind of like one of the grandfathers of motor sleeving. And it has a Pulsar from Australia. It's a replica of the Garrett's. It's a G3770. So like Inconel exhaust wheel, billet compressor wheel, and lots of Australia parts. So like TurboSmart wastegate, TurboSmart blow-off valve. It's currently ready for E85. It's not there yet. You'll see in some of the shots, the manifold was built by a guy named Tim Adams from back east. He works for a company called STM Tune that makes really high quality Evo parts. So basically the turbo manifold is like an Evo 4G63 manifold, but mirrored for a Honda. And yeah, right now it's on gate pressure and probably, you know, plus or minus depending on the day, the dyno, the temperature. These wheels are 54 pounds a piece. It's abysmal. But yeah, plus or minus 400 depending.
Has it been reliable so far?
It's actually been amazingly reliable.
Okay, yeah.
Prior to getting a trailer, I would drive this car everywhere. I would drive this car 6.5 hours one way for some events in Helena, Montana called Top Gun. I would load up the entire back with my race wheels, my jack, my tools, everything. Go there, race it, bring it home, park it, fine. I mean, the drive here was 4 hours, and even though it's like a water-cooled turbo, water-cooled wastegate, all spherical Heim joints, everything else, this thing cruises right along in 180 degrees, even in 100-degree weather. It does not care. The radiator is overkill, but that's the point. Basically a Chevy LS aluminum radiator. So it's a dual core, but they're really wide fins or tubes, and it's a dual pass, and it has a Spall 12-inch extreme fan, which is almost 1900 CFM. So it's a lot. Definitely excessive, but ain't no kill like overkill. So.
I mean, pretty good street manners. The flywheel's light. You know, you're revving it to 3,000 RPM off the line to get going, but it's got a sprung 6-puck, which is totally usable. The shifter has been modified. The gearbox has been strengthened. The synchros are upgraded, so it's got a bunch of feel. Not to the point of being undrivable. The strangest thing is the Prius power steering, electric power steering. And this is almost set. He's got an adjustment knob here. This is pretty much set to no assist, or almost no assist. And it feels like there's actually quite a bit of assist. I love old hydraulic power steering, I really do. And it still has the Integra steering rack. Now, whether the feel or not is better, probably not, but to wrestle with this amount of torque steer with, I don't know, no power steering or factory old 90s Civic power steering is a full-time job. If your goal is lap times, if your goal is to have fun on the track, wrestling torque steer is fatiguing. You want to be able to actually enjoy the car for a full track day.
So there's a company I found from some buddies that run the same kit, and it's called ePower Steering, and they make a lot of different applications. They just take a factory column and probably just mount it up in a jig, and then they just make everything to reinforce and mount the electric steering assist motor from a Toyota Prius.
Brakes are actually pretty decent too. I was, see, I'm already used to it. I'm already used to the car just being ready to kill me. These brakes didn't look like they were gonna be big enough, but they are. It's, you know, typical Honda hatch stuff. It's really easy to heel toe. The pedal placement's good. The seating position would be perfect if it was set up for me. Visibility's great, even with these seats. Spool is good though. Spool is really good. Considering the size of this turbo, 4,000 RPM, you've already got really good spool, and it revs to 9. That's 5,000 of like usable RPMs. And I'm not looking down at the tach. You have no time to do that. So I'm guessing you hit full boost around 5, and VTEC feels like it hits around the same time. I don't know. The amount of noise that just punches you in the face at once does not enable you to differentiate between what you're hearing. There's no nuance to the sensory experience of this car. Clark, this thing is insane. You're actually a madman. For someone who seems like pretty light, or not lightheaded, maybe you are that as well, level-headed, your car, yeah, does not match that. We'll try one more time. This thing is ridiculous. It's got all the hallmark Honda stuff. It's super buzzy, super vibrating. Everything's coming through the seat. It feels so incredibly solid. Right back into boost. Vague when the tires begin to load up, but it's a Honda, so you just have to remember the typical standard Honda driving characteristics and abide by that. Don't lift off too quick. The rear end feels pretty planted though.
It's a 9 Life Racing, the Deuce, or whatever they call theirs. So yeah, definitely excessive, but it works and it needs it. The rear end's way too light to keep itself in place.
Well, yeah, and you've stripped everything out of the back too.
Recently, I actually had this corner weighted at my friend's shop. Half tank, fully dressed, ready for race, but no driver weight, is 2375 with these heavy wheels, which means with the 15s, it's more like 2,315 pounds. Typically, you'll put a car neutral when you coast down a long hill. This starts slowing down because of the tires in the wing. It's pretty rough. I lose 10 miles per gallon on the highway running these wheels in that wing. So the only real breakages in the car have been in the early stages when I was running like stock motors with just rods, pistons. You know, I've had like a wrist pin failure. The spiral lock came out, chewed up the cylinder walls. And I was at Oregon Raceway Park in Oregon, and I was learning the track, keeping the revs low, and I was trying to go from second to third on a section where, or sorry, third to fourth, where the road dips and comes up really aggressively, and I went third, second. And yeah,
classic.
So the wide tires were not going to give up the ghost and lock up, and I wasn't close to over revving the motor, but it ended up breaking a few teeth off the counter shaft and the differential ring gear, which I did not know and thought was rocks stuck in the tire, brakes, and did a whole nother run.
Yeah,
and broke it more. So yeah, but no, all things considered, like, it's been great. And then now kind of the focus has been sort of transitioning into hill climb and time attack. So I really want to go to the Ridge Motorsports Park and compete in either global time attack or on-grid events would be a lot of fun too.
Well, thanks, Clark.
No problem. Yeah.
Let's go drive.
Sounds good.
Not cool. This thing is a death trap. Clark, I want to watch you drive this at 10/10ths on a racetrack, because this is a car that when you build it, you have to incrementally drive it after every mod you do and like build up to this. Throwing me in this car, Clark, was not a smart decision. You can just huck it into a corner and it takes it. There we go. Just lift off, the rear end comes right around. I mean, it does all the perfect Honda things that you want a car like this to do. I can only imagine this on the track. I mean, this is one of those cars where, like, I can only get a little bit of a taste here on the street. Water temp's good, oil temp's good. No warnings. Thank you, Clark. You're a madman. You're crazy. That fine line between a street and track car your friends talk about while justifying their back pain doesn't exist. It's super obvious to me why Clark owns a trailer. Yeah, the suspension setup is racetrack stiff, but it never felt bouncy or like it was about to skip off the road. I'll admit when the road doesn't match the car, and that just happened, but there's nothing like a toy that'll soak up anything you throw at it. Before we go, I don't usually tell you guys the roads I shoot on, but you've made it this far, so I'm telling you to go drive through North Cascades National Park on Highway 20 in Washington State. We'll catch you next week at SEMA.